boy never bark. Movie shows, they tear apart. Dimensions clash, they ignite the spark. Couch debates, turn the volume up. Set the chaos over for the cup. Alien worlds and twisted scenes. Banter spreads like electric dreams. Outer dimensions ride the wave. Trying days set flames ablaze. Discussing bits and cosmic plays. Beyond the stars they find their praise. They find their praise. Ripping through the deep.
Welcome back again, guys. You are not having a seizure. This is not some kind of a coma dream. The Outer Dimensions podcast has returned. The brothers of deconstruction are back. Dre the Geek Dad. You guys know him. He's a father, a YouTuber, an educator, a lover of all things Sentai and anime. It's the one true tribal chief of the Outer Dimensions podcast, Dre the Geek Dad. And you guys know me. I'm Dave, a dimension hopping, pop culture loving, ghost busting, 3D printing enthusiast from the flip side. Dave's Dimension, as always, guys. So we are back after a much needed hiatus. We need,
Let me
both
say hi real quick. Let me say hi.
go right ahead, Dre.
My boy, Level 1 Ranger, my boy Mario. Thank you for watching out. I will tell you, Mario, do not watch to the end of the show because when we do cover Brand New Day, we will be having spoilers. So you can stay for the first two parts, but do not stay for the last one.
Yes, we will be chopping it up. We'll be talking about several 3 movies tonight. But guys, we're back. We took a little bit of a hiatus. We had stuff going on in our lives, both just life, medical. I mean, just you name it, and we're gonna claim it right there. Ultra Godzilla in the house. Due to my laptop problems, which is currently undergoing diagnostics, hope it gets better for you, Ultra. So yeah, Dre and Dave are back, and we're better than ever, and no force in the universe can stop us.
I'm a little biased. That's all I'm going to say. Just a little biased. That when we get to this one, I'm just that biased.
And Ultra enjoying his Ultraman journey right now. There you go.
Hey man, cool.
Gotta love it. So we are back. We are back to discuss some movies. We are going to be trying to do every couple weeks. We're going to be doing an episode every 2 weeks, right, Dre? More or less.
So I, if you don't mind me doing a cheap plug, can I do a cheap plug?
Go ahead, do cheap plug.
Well, you made yourself bigger. So
that's what she said. Hey, now.
Hey, it's not that kind of show. I guess it's after hours, so I guess it could be that show. So yes, folks, I will be balancing 2 podcasts on the weekends. So it will be on Saturdays. You will either see me here riding the dimensional airwaves with my brother from another mother, Dave, or you'll be seeing me do Cultura Pop with my boy Tats and Toys. That will either be on Sundays or on sometimes a Saturday, where I'll end up flipping the shows. We'll do it instead of doing our show on a Saturday. We'll hear the Outer Dimensions. We'll do Cultura Pop. Depends on the guest. Depends on the situation. But it should be every 2 to 3 weeks. Don't hold us to it because summer's still popping and we still have a lot of things that are kind of events that are going on, and we just kind of ironing out. But we do have a plan. I do have a roadmap similar to the MCU and DC. So just enjoy that. And I think it's been a long time coming since we've been wanting to do this. I told Dave at the start of the summer that I knew this was going to be the second year in a row I was going to be in the theaters every week, almost every week, for a movie. So I knew we were chomping at the bit to come back. And we have a cool bunch of stuff coming down the pipeline. Horror movies. We have guests that we're going to be trying to get on the show. We have a lot of fun stuff happening. And Dave has put it up there. So if you guys are going to be there, it's going to be streamed on Tats and Toys YouTube channel. If you guys have not followed and subscribed to his channel, he's awesome. And it's going to be streamed on my personal channel, Dre the Geek Dad. So that will
But these are the Instagram handles if you guys want to follow them for the announcements of when those podcasts are going to be, the availability and future topics when they do those streams. That is their links right there. Tats and Toys 3364, and of course at Dre the Geek Dad. Those are their IG handles, and you get all their links through that. So guys, please go ahead and check them out. Go ahead, Dre.
And just so you understand, there is a tagline. This was before we came up with the tagline for what our podcast is, Cultura Pop. Cultura Pop is the name of the show, but it's also got the tagline where representation matters. And tomorrow will be the first episode at 9 p.m. Eastern, and just tune into that on those channels, and I think you'll enjoy. So I am chomping at the bit to talk movies. So let's go to the cheat sheet, folks, because y'all been missing them. I love doing them, and we got them back.
Let me just pull up a little. There we go. We gotta have our disclaimer.
So wait. Before Dave's picture he did is so much better than this one that I used, because I was just trying to find like something that could do the summer of movies, and Dave's picture was like the summer of superheroes, so much better than what I came up with. So I do want to shout my brother out, and that it was way better. So
this one or the
no, the one we had.
I kind of like this one. This one was kind of crazy.
That was also pretty good too. So I'm not gonna lie, folks, they were really well done. So I just wanted you guys to know that Dave really did some awesome work on that. He deserves the pat on the back for that.
But guys, we're going to get into this. Like I said, we're going to be trying to do this every couple weeks. There may be a few weeks, like in the past, where we have to shuffle things off or put things off. But we will give you plenty of warning and notice ahead of time. Speaking of warnings, we will be discussing Supergirl. Right. We will be discussing the Odyssey. Well, Dre will be discussing the Odyssey because I have not seen that yet, although Mrs. Dimension wants to see it. We're putting that one off until it hits streaming. I'm going to be that person.
Or until his brother finds it.
But also Spider-Man Brand New Day. We will be discussing it. We both saw it today. So fair warning.
The gloves are off on this one, folks. We warned you.
Yep. We
in the last bit of the show, we will say it loud and clear. We will even give a
say it loud, say it proud.
We will give you 10 seconds, 10 audible seconds to not sign in, and then you will be able to do that. So give me 1 second. I gotta start us up because Peanut's gotta show me something.
There we go. So guys, we will be discussing all three movies. And right now, we're going to start off with the Girl of Steel, the Maiden of Might herself. So Supergirl came out this year, obviously, June 26, 2026. Gotta love those numbers. And personally, I know there's been a lot of conjecture, a lot of criticism about the movie. And honestly, I enjoyed the movie tremendously. I was a fan of it. I know the missus liked it. Dre, how did you feel about Supergirl?
So I actually saw this one with Peanut. We were the only two of the household that wanted to go see it. I had offered to buy tickets for the wife and my teenager, but they had said no. And this was, mind you, I saw this kind of post my surgery, so I had a lot of like excitement to actually get out the house and kind of do something fun. So this movie being the first of that, I will say when we get to the point of the audience reactions, I'm going to say I think people went in with the wrong expectations. I think when you went to sit to watch this movie, nobody really wanted to see this. They wanted to see Superman like 2.5 or 1.5 and then see Superman Man of Steel. And it's not that kind of film. This is a solo story where he is involved. I think a lot of the David Cornsweet is amazing. And I think he did such a fantastic job off camera talking about talking up Millie, because Millie Alcott I'm biased. I love her. I loved her character in is Rhaenyra Targaryen in House
Game of
of
Thrones.
Dragons.
Or,
No,
yeah.
House of Dragons.
House of
And
Dragons.
she did a fantastic job. And because people do not understand that female-led superhero movies, Captain Marvel, Wonder Woman, Black Widow, they can do well. Even Wakanda Forever, Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all female-led films. And they deserve their chance in the spotlight. And they deserve to have that moment to be good on the merit. Not on, oh, she's Supergirl, so she's Superman's cousin, and we need her and him to be in this film together. If you go back to the 80s film we got with Supergirl, which is, you know, claimed by many fans to not even be a good film. It was one of the worst, they say, in any of the Superman. I could argue that I think the Richard Pryor Superman 3 was probably one of the worst ones.
No, Superman 4, Quest for Peace. That's the bottom of the barrel right there in the Superman DC universe.
That's no Superman Returns. I'm gonna say Superman Returns. I'm gonna hit Brandon Routh. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you with the Brandon Routh. But that's us taking away from Supergirl.
Ooh.
Let's look at it in this under this microscope. You have a film that is I don't want to say a gateway, because Superman was that gateway to a restructured universe that we understood they were no longer telling origin stories, which was perfect for me because I'm tired of them. I'm 48 years old. I don't really need any more origin stories. I've read them and I know them. So getting a chance to be where I can watch a film and the stories kind of fast forwarded. Fantastic Four last year did that in spades. It gave me like a 2-minute montage. And this movie does that. Well, it passes it. It's like it plays between the memories of the past and the present. And it really does it very well. Am I saying that I care about the villain? No, I could care. I don't.
You mean the ball-bearing pimple face guy, Krem? Yeah.
Yeah. See that I didn't care about the villain. I cared about seeing Lobo. I cared about seeing Supergirl.
The main man.
I cared about seeing Crypto. Now, were there major issues with this film? Yes.
Yes.
I will argue that does this film suffer from? I feel like it was rushed. Yes. 100% it feels rushed. Do I feel like the film suffered writing? Yes. Because there was no memorable lines. When I saw Superman had that monologue towards the end of the film with Lex Luthor that I will stand, and I've posted it on all my socials. I think it's probably one of the best monologues I've ever heard.
The human speech?
Exactly. Like,
yeah.
he's like, you have the powers of a god. He's like, but I get up every day. You know, like that was the best. And it was very Christopher Reeves delivered through Corn Sweat. Like, it was perfect. Did I get that with Millie Alcott? No. I got a Supergirl that was jaded. That's lost in her
and rightfully so. Rightfully so for those who are initiated. Those who aren't just like, oh, I've seen the Supergirl CW show from a few years back. This is not that. That was not comic accurate. Okay? And I mean, I love the fact that, you know, those who've seen it and haven't seen it, you know, she did not come directly from Krypton. She came from Argo City, which was a city that was saved from Krypton, which that also borrows from the same template that they kind of went with the 1980s Supergirl movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fact that we got like they didn't just give us like oh, they're speaking English already. They had a full-blown Kryptonian language, which I really appreciated. It gave us the more alien, you know, the outside culture. It established that, you know, the fact that, you know, people were slowly dying on Argo, and her father was like, listen, I've built this craft. It's going to take you away. It's going to save you. She didn't want to go. She wanted to die because she knew she would be alone. Even if there is a family member somewhere out there, she doesn't know them. She doesn't know Jack. I mean, her closest tie is Crypto, the puppy. You know,
Well, they also did something more interesting too. I think in this one that a lot of people that didn't see this film don't really, I think they give any sort of credit to. We found out in Superman, even though Lex Luthor used it as propaganda against Kal-El, that he was sent by his parents to take over the world, a la Invincible with the freaking. I mean, I can go down a whole
propagation.
But I thought what was something interesting was there's something that Kara's dad says that's like, we're not doing it to send you to where your cousin. We're sending you to your cousin so you have family. It wasn't like, oh, go there to Earth to dominate. Yeah. It wasn't. They were at the end of their life.
Yeah.
Their life expectancy. They were going to die.
Zorro wasn't giving her a mission. He was like, listen, I want you to live. We're dying, but you're my child. I want you to live. I want you to grow. I want you to have experiences. Here's your cousin. He's going to be your last familial connection. We're sending you there. And plus, this is a planet you can live in, a planet where you will have abilities beyond your imagination. But I like how flawed she is. She really doesn't care about the power. She's commiserating throughout the movie because she's grieving for the loss of her family, her culture, everything that she knew. And she's having trouble trying to connect to a new society, which, throwing back to the CW show, that's not something that was necessarily shown or ever expressed in the writing. Faintly, very faintly.
See, I'm going to argue with that. I think Melissa Benoist did a very good job of giving.
She was great. She was great. Don't get me wrong. I love this. Listen, I love Melissa Benoist. I mean, I got the figure right here. Okay, but I will say this: the Kara from the comics and from the animated series and movies, this felt more attuned to it. Millie Alcott did a great job. And to me, this is more of the Supergirl that I knew than the more recent pop culture.
Well, again, and I think Benoist did exactly. I feel like Benoist was a better model for this than Laura Vandervoot. Because let's go, y'all. We're gonna deep cut
I can't disagree with you. I can't disagree with you on that.
Are gonna deconstruct some shit here. Let's go back to the
Smallville.
early 2000s Smallville. Laura Vandervoot, who is the supermodel turned into nerd culture icon, a la Jerry Ryan, 7 of 9. That for y'all that know that she was brought in to be like, oh my God, that's the cousin.
Because she was tall. I mean, she was just,
she's Nordic, statuesque, beautiful. Oh wait, she's blonde hair, blue eyes, which is perfect because that's what Kara is. All right, you did everything to fit the mold, but the character was deadpan. I didn't. To me, honestly, it felt like she was Power Girl. Let's go even deeper cut. I'm gonna hit you with the Justice League.
Again, I can't disagree with Dre on that because her Kara was very two-dimensional. There was she had no actual growth. Okay, the only kind of growth she had would be like, when someone hasn't shaved for a week, they get a little bit of stubble, right? That's about as much growth as she got during her entire time on that show. Okay, so yes, but for me, she's flawed, and Millie Alcott, again, I think she did great. Now, would I have liked to see our previous Supergirl, Sasha? I would have loved to have seen that. But I get that it's a different universe.
Now, we would have technically, if you really. So, again, we do deep cuts here. If we had gotten our Batgirl film, which is shelved, she's in that.
Mm-hmm.
She's in that one. So if DC if Warner and Paramount ever decide to release that when they link the studios and they want to make some money, put that movie out. You'll get gold because it's Michael Keaton as Batman. Because
I'm Batman.
We got Sasha as freaking Supergirl, and we got a dope Batgirl I'm like, yes, this would be freaking awesome, but we're not. Who knows? But in any event, I think that people eclipsed this film because they wanted something. They were trying to compare it to the comics, and it's not. Man of Tomorrow, or Woman of Tomorrow, I should say,
No.
is not the comic. Gunn said that 1,000 times to people when they announced it at Comic-Con. This is not the comic. Lobo was never in the comics. He was actually supposed to be in the Woman of Tomorrow graphic novel, but he never made it in because the writers didn't feel like there was a way to fit him in, and it was not telling the story of Kara.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted. So that's why he was left out. They put him in, and I'm going to say shoehorned him into this because, well,
And did he actually serve the story? Nah, not really, but establishes him in the universe.
That's all it was. It was the same reason. No, I'm going to take that back. I'm going to stop myself because I would have said that's the same reason we had the Justice Society put into Superman. But no, they actually served a purpose because Nathan Fillion and Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, Terrific, and Shaira, they served a reason because you needed other heroes, and I think that was great.
I thought he stole the show in that movie, though.
Oh yeah, he, and that's why he's getting his own. He's hopefully getting his own TV series that they keep teasing us. So please give him his TV series,
please, baby, please.
I mean, because he deserves it. But again, Momoa is. And I think I'm going to shout Mario. If you're still watching Mario, I'm going to shout you out because you said it best. He's typecasted. I hate
he is.
it. The only film he's slightly different at is Dune, where he's a lot more of a serious role than he is comedy.
Yeah.
Which is
because
a big step out of his character.
Because those that don't know, unless you go all the way back to Baywatch, and that's like the only exception, he's always played a barbarian-like character. Game of Thrones. Also, Stargate Atlantis, when he played Ronan Dex. He always played a brute, even though he wasn't like super massively built, he was toned, but he's always played kind of the brute guy that would rather, punch and fight than trying to talk things out. Aquaman. Perfect example of that. He is typecast in those roles. I'm trying to think of the movie he just did. He did a movie last year with him and Dave Bautista as brothers.
Yep, that was the Amazon one. I saw that. Then there was
I enjoyed
Fast 10, where he's the villain, the son.
A little bit more flamboyantly evil villain.
But he was still the same typecast, and it wasn't until what was the other one that he did? The TV show. Okay, so these are the two roles I can say that.
C.
I loved that show because it is a step outside of him, as well as the Polynesian one that they just did on the Hawaiian, like the King Kamehameha, like the actual Polynesian nations battling each other. That was all spoken in ancient Hawaiian. It was amazing. That show was like all Apple TV. So if you guys watch that,
don't sleep on Apple TV. They got a lot of great shows on there and movies. So
they do. But I think that was like that C, which is also on Apple TV, and that show and Dune are like his three roles. And it's not Momoa walking around.
It's not your traditional Momoa. Yeah.
That way, and I love his culture, and I love him being about his culture. But it's like Lobo. I know this is what originally he wanted to do, and what he actually had originally wanted to be when he had been, I guess, casted as Aquaman. He had tried out for Lobo.
I mean, there's stories as the very day that Gunn was appointed that he was messaging him. He was posting stuff on Twitter like, "Hey, keep, Lobo, the main man, come on, make it happen." And I'll be honest, I enjoyed him. I enjoyed his Lobo. I thought he did. I mean, considering mainstream Hollywood right now, I think he was the obvious choice. Could there be better choices out there? Definitely.
No, he was the right pick. I just think the movie didn't need him. There was no reason. I read the graphic novel. Like, I bought it when they had put it, DC had released what's called the Essentials, which is a smaller version of the graphic novel. So it's like book size and you can carry it in your bag easily. And I read it and I loved it. And I was like, man, I watched Supergirl and I was like, did I have a great experience taking my 6-year-old? Yes, because she likes going to see those superhero movies. And a little girl getting to see a female lead, even better for me as a girl dad. Loved it. Do I think Lobo was needed? No. Did I see him serve a purpose in the film other than introducing his character in the DCEU, which is now under
merchandise?
Yeah, it's make a Lobo action figure, make the Lobo motorcycle, but like I don't feel there was substance. Like Green Lantern made sense because we know there's lanterns on Earth, and we knew Lanterns, the TV series, was coming out, so that was an obvious pick. Mr. Terrific, excellent pick. Shaira, excellent pick. Lobo, like if you had given me maybe like a different person, like maybe if they gave me Jessica Cruz as a Green Lantern, maybe if they even gave me a Blue Lantern, the lead Blue Lantern, she would have been a perfect pick, or the Star Sapphires, anybody else. And it's funny because people are like, why do you love I don't love the movie. Don't get it twisted. I liked the movie. I had a good time watching the movie, but I will put it under the microscope and say, what you guys could have done better. I think Alcott killed it as Kara Zor-El.
Yes.
And I will say, yes, she's my Supergirl. Put her in everything in the DC. And when you give me Darkseid and her, I want to see Darkseid beat the crap out of her and have her beat the crap out of Darkseid.
Yeah.
So like that's what I want to see. And I think her relationship with Corn Sweat is, I like the fact that they're cousins, but they're like, it almost felt like the big brother.
They butt heads.
And
they got this sibling rivalry, like when she shows up at the end of Superman and says, "Thanks for watching my dog, bitch."
Yeah, like,
it feels natural with her. It doesn't feel forced. Now, I'll be honest. Dre knows this. I had apprehensions about Superman last year because, I had a lot, but Gunn does what Gunn usually does when he's directing a film, when he's making a film, he does things in such a way that is like, God damn you. It's like I wound up enjoying the movie, even though there's things about it I wasn't particularly happy about. Like with this, I was not psyched about Supergirl because when I saw what the premise was, it was very Guardians like. Oh, we have a hero who's hopping through space to different planets, and just so happens that their furry best friend is stricken, is on death's door practically. So now the hero has to go on an adventure to try and find a cure to save their furry best friend. It was Guardians 3.
Yeah, see, Dave and I argued that. I was like, yeah, but then, which I would argue this, Woman of Tomorrow was written way before Guardians 3 was even filmed and even conceived. So which stole the idea, the premise first? Was it Woman of Tomorrow, or was it,
And see, Drake can argue that because he's not a casual.
Oh, I'm not.
He is not a casual. He is a man of the comics. Okay.
It's literally right here. I have it underneath.
Yeah,
with this.
But
it's right there.
But my argument is, as we often said in the past, it's about getting the casuals into the theaters to see it.
True.
And if and honestly, okay, if you only know Supergirl from like pop culture, like seeing maybe the Justice League animes, Justice League Unlimited, or maybe you saw the CW series, so you know Supergirl from that, or maybe from the Adventures. Was it the Adventures of Superman on HBO? They now introduce Kara Zor-El on there now. But like, if you only know her from pop culture, from your mainstream culture, you're seeing this. Wait a minute, this sounds a lot like Guardians. That's where my concern was. But I went and I saw the movie, and I enjoyed it. I actually really liked the movie. I thought it was great. It could have been 20 times worse.
What?
Supergirl could have been 20 times worse, but I enjoyed it, and I liked the fact that for 80% of the show, 80% of the movie, or more, she's not wearing the suit. she's in regular clothes, and she's a flawed character, and I thought Millie did an amazing job. Again,
there's a reason that and I think that it's something that you have to really delve into how serious that was. We joked about it in the Zack Snyder Man of Steel, where they're like, what is that? What does the S in your shirt mean? We think it stands for it stands for hope. Well, it's just an S. But we actually don't realize that because the house emblem is very to the Kryptonian culture, that house emblem is very important. And the fact that she's not wearing it, it shows that that she's lost and distant and separated from her culture.
And then maybe she doesn't feel like she deserves to wear the crest either.
Well, that's the other big,
I mean, look at Celtic culture. It's the tartans, or in medieval times, you had a crest for your houses. And the fact that she's not embracing it, she doesn't feel like she deserves it. I mean, her father sent her away, and she just feels kind of lost. She doesn't know who. I mean, hell, she arrives on Earth. She doesn't speak English at all, so there's obviously a language barrier right there, and not even fitting in. I mean, she's. And let's be honest, technology was way more advanced on Argo than Earth, probably centuries in some cases. I mean, there's the technology gap, there's the culture gap, and just feeling lost. And along the story, she comes across a young girl who is in kind of maybe not exactly a similar fashion, but who also has lost her family, and they kind of reluctantly team up. And they almost become like sisters in a way. But I mean, like this, to me, this story could have been better, sure. Like Dre said, did it feel rushed? In 100%. Some aspects, definitely. I mean, editing, a lot of things felt like there was stuff that was cut.
Oh, yeah.
And re-edited to kind of change the narrative slightly.
I will say this. I would love to be in that room, whoever sat in front of it. Because, see, we used to use a term, I'd love to be in the room when they were see the cutting room floor.
Welcome, Kenzo.
If I had the choice, I would love to be in the room to watch the person who is editing this film, because I'd love to
slap them across the back of their head
and just see what was cut. Because there was, all right, one of the big things, I don't see movies like regular people do anymore. And I've argued this, and people think I'm very elitist in saying it, and I can tell you, go kick rocks. I don't see a movie like a regular person anymore. I see a movie and I have to analyze. And I look at the things that are key to what makes a story cohesive. And this film lacked that glue, so to speak.
I think it lacks some of the gun magic that we usually see, but of course he wasn't directing it.
No, he wasn't.
He didn't even participate really with the writing. He was just as a producer, just like him and Peter Safran. They were just the producers behind it. I think had this been a gun film, a true gun film,
like Superman,
yes, it would have been 100% different.
Can I say why there's a reason? Let me give you this theory.
Okay, Austin.
I feel A-Town down, for those that know. If you really have to look at this, I think Gunn, because of realize that this film was coming out when the DC Studios has been in negotiations to be bought. And if Gunn puts his name on this film, what happens if it tanks? Because everybody on social media,
because
you guys have watched
it's directly on him.
They're looking at him and they're saying, how many people have said Superman flopped? I have a headache from the amount of stupidity. Like, it doesn't take a genius to just go to Google and see how well Superman did. Like, the movie, yes, the movie was sandwiched between other summer blockbusters, but Superman still did well. Did it do better than Fantastic Four? Hell no.
No.
But it did. It stood up and it had a fighting chance. And I'm going to say that right here. In this instance, this film was the start of a summer blockbuster. It was the start of the summer. It came in right after Father's Day, you figured, oh man, this is going to be swinging. And if the studio execs are like, man, if Gunn puts his name on this and it tanks, it's not going to give anybody that's looking to buy DC, Warner Brothers, DC, they're not going to want to buy it because then it's going to be a failure. So now everybody's like, well, Man of Tomorrow. Well, we're not going to, I'm not worried about Man of Tomorrow. Man of Tomorrow is going to be disgustingly overfilled with the amount of heroes that are going to be in it. We're going to have freaking we're going to have Jon Stewart. We're going to have Peacemaker. We're going to have Brainiac. We're going to have Luther in the power armor. We're going to have Kara Zor-El. We're going to have a whole mess of heroes and villains in this next film. So I'm not worried about it being a commercial failure because it's not. This, by many reactions and regards, I'll agree it was a failure. I'm not saying to the mass appeal it failed. Do I think it failed for me? No, because as a dad, I took my youngest to go see a superhero film that she had an interest in because it's just one of those things I did as a kid, and it felt perfect.
And it's that memory that you built with your daughter to go see this film, and that's going to be a memory, regardless of how well the movie was or how well it ages over time. It's that memory. I mean, as a kid, I remember my grandfather taking me and my cousins to go see Gremlins. Great 80s film, but you know what though? I don't remember the movie. I don't remember the memory of us watching the movie. I remember us going out, having that fun, going to that theater, and it's the memory, it's the nostalgia, it's that vibe. It brings the goodness. Whether the movie was good or not, it's that vibe. But for me, I really enjoyed Superman. The missus enjoyed it. We both had a great time.
Supergirl. That's
Supergirl. Now, about Supergirl, but I mean, she really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I had my hesitations, and my hesitations were turned around. They turned around and surprised me. So there is that. And when they can change your mind about how you feel about something going into it, that's a success in my book. Me personally. How well will it do commercially? We'll see what happens. But also, we're in that culture when, hey, movies can be expensive. Hey, I'll wait so many weeks and it'll pop up on streaming. Unfortunately, that's a thing. But Spider-Man Brand New Day, I went to the theaters and I saw it this morning. Dre saw it this afternoon. The Odyssey. To me, it wasn't top on my list. It's actually on Mrs.
Are we jumping to the next one yet?
We're going to start the next one so you can do your job.
Let me just give a final thought before we move to the Odyssey, if you don't mind.
Yeah, Archer in the chat.
At the end of the day, will I tell you as a superhero comic book nerd, male, female, or other, to not see this film? Go see it regardless of what the critics are saying, because I'm going to tell you this. I criticize it, and me and Dave can tell you what our opinions are, and it can be worth nothing more than a fart in a spacesuit, right? But at the end of the day, I'm not going at it the way the critics were going, very hateful. And I'm not going to go spout the rhetoric that everybody's heard about the film. All this anti-women and anti-heroes and women superhero movies are terrible. There's enough evidence and there's enough out there that I'm just going to tell you, do your own research. And if you guys do want us to do an episode about that, we can. And
make your own minds about it too.
At the end of the day, that's what I was just going to say before I close it and we move to the Odyssey. Make your own opinions about it. I think it's a good film. My 6-year-old thought it was a great film. Visually, it looks nice. The soundtrack is cool. There was things that are positive. And for me, the theater experience to all these films matters the most. Mm-hmm. So now we can go to the Odyssey.
Okay, now Dre will be taking over at this point because I did not see the Odyssey. Mrs. Dementia wants to see it, but we're waiting until streaming service and then we'll watch it. But ironically, the Odyssey features 3 of the actors who are both in the second film and the third film we will be discussing tonight. Hilariously, as it were. But here we go.
Okay, so I I swear I'm really biased when it comes to these next two films. I absolutely love Christopher Nolan. I've seen everything he's done. I own every movie he's done, and I think he can
Will you own this
literally
one?
not yet. When it
No,
comes out,
will you?
oh, I will 110%. I'll buy it. I will buy the 4K steelbook of this because I think it's that worth of a movie. I think it's a fantastic rendition, and I will say this: do not go into this film thinking it is Jason and the Argonauts. Do not go thinking this is Hercules or Percy Jackson. It is not that kind of film. My wife, who is an English teacher, who has got 4 degrees, the woman is probably one of the smartest people in this house. Will tell you, she and I both agreed this film is not a super movie, like in the sense of heroes. It's a sense of epicness. It's an epic narrative, and it's an epic poem. It's a narrative poem, actually, if you really want to be theoretical with it, or actually understanding the actual what it is, the definition of it. Now, I can go down the list of everything in here. Obviously, he's a writer of the film, as in he wrote the actors' lines. He did not write the actual Odyssey. That was Homer, and that is obviously the story of Homer and his.
Don't. Oh, not that one. Sorry.
Yeah, not the Simpsons Homer. It is the Homer of the Iliad and the Odyssey, which I think is amazing. And obviously, we can talk about all the heroes in this film. Which Matt Damon plays the lead of Odysseus. Anne Hathaway plays his love. John Leguizamo is the unsung hero of this film. I will tell you now, if he does not get an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, I would be surprised, because he did an absolute fantastic job as his second in command. Tom Holland played Telemachus. So he's the son of Odysseus, and then you have Zendaya, who is, I feel like if I tell you who she is, you lose some illusion to who her character could potentially be. Let's just say that her character is tied to Odysseus, and the rationale to why you need to understand her connection to Odysseus, Matt Damon's character. Charlize Theron plays, oh God, she was Callisto? Yes. Calypso. And Robert Pattinson, I forgot the name of his character, who he played. He was the basically the main antagonist.
The Batman. Sorry.
I know. Bernthal played the role of the brother to Agamemnon, Menenidas. And Elliot Page was the cousin, and I'm going to say that again, they say he's the cousin to Odysseus. I would think that they were wrong, because he wasn't the cousin to Odysseus. He was actually the cousin to Robert Pattinson's character. So you will have to see how that would play out. And then obviously I don't want to pass over her. Lupita Nyong'o, she played Helen of Troy. And she did an amazing job. Her Helen was very dark, and I could tell from the editing in the movie, it would have been longer if they went deeper into, because they do go partially into her backstory about the whole reason why that there was the war with Agamemnon going after everybody, and why he was going after her. So why he went to, because they she gets basically kidnapped, but not really kidnapped. She escapes. Needless to say, you will see how awesome it is. Now, obviously, the movie goes back and forth several times. You will watch this film, and it'll be in the perceived present. So there's a 20-year gap of history. So you'll see a lot of stuff told through the characters being older, where Telemachus is obviously a young man, and his mother, Anne Hathaway, is mourning or waiting the return of Odysseus, who has been at war for Agamemnon. Now, obviously, they were supposed to come back home, and you start seeing the memories pass of the past and the present. And I think that was what Nolan did so well. Like, he gave us the stories and the journey and then the Greek mythology, like Scylla and Charybdis. Like, you got to see the fantastical creatures of the Cyclops. And I will say the Cyclops scene was probably one of the hardest scenes to watch, in the sense that there's a very audible, grotesque yell. 100% I would recommend this film. 100% I recommend it.
Now, Dre, I want to just throw this out there. Nolan's never had a flop.
Never.
Right.
Never.
So let's just put that out there, kids.
I mean, if you perceive that Tenet was considered a flop to him because he didn't get any Oscar nominations for it, then yes, that would be his only flop.
Well,
but
I'm going with like
Dunkirk,
let's
freaking Batman, Batman Begins,
the whole Dark Knight trilogy.
the Dark Knight trilogy. I mean, I can go down the list. I mean, Dunkirk was one that won him like 2 awards, actually.
Commercially and as far as like storytelling, he's never had a flop in my book, in my opinion. So I think that says loads. But go right ahead.
So why would I recommend this film? I think if you are a fan of period pieces, and when I say period pieces, I think of like stuff like, you know, films that are in that time and they're encapsulated in that time. And I know I have to address this because it's the elephant in the room. Oh, well, there were people of color in this film. Duh. I'm going to say it just like this. Why wouldn't there be people of color in a film where they're in the Middle East, Mediterranean, where people are not blonde hair, blue-eyed, or light brown hair? They're, guess what? Dark skinned, because it's the northern part of Africa, the Middle East, going into Central Europe and parts of Asia. You know, like, it made sense why you saw people. Now, there were a lot of people that were like, well, with the British accents, it was kind of, no, I thought that was fine. That just kind of goes back to true Shakespearean acting, how people obviously would have spoken in either Old English or whatever. But I think the fact that there were parts of the film where they actually spoke in Greek with subtitles was actually very cool. Even when the Cyclops was talking, he has a moment where he says something and they didn't translate it, but they understood it. Like, audibly, they all understood what the Cyclops was saying, which I thought was really cool. There is this air of realism with the mysticism, which was something that the Greek mythology always married quite well. Obviously, they showed like giants, and they showed the Cyclops. They showed obviously, like I said, Scylla and Charybdis. You know, you never really saw like the Kraken or anything like that, but they do have this one very powerful scene where Odysseus is trying to get back home, and it's been some years. His crew's trying to mutiny. You know, they're frustrated, and they have to go on this quest to go to the land of the dead. And I think the visual of what we would think as like the river Styx in Hades and the underworld was so in. They found like I think it had to have been Iceland, like where they probably filmed this, but it was so powerful because the visuals were just this dark, like, mountain with lava coming in the back, and then there's this like, it looks like sand, but it's like, you know, it's a beach, but it's like you don't see the water for a good couple hundred feet. Fantastic. Just everything just plays very well, and you care about the story. You care about the characters. They're humanized. And I think that there's a lot of cool elements of storytelling. It is, Dave and I have done this, and we've talked about this. Shout out to us on our podcast, because I'm going to shout us out for doing things right. We did the hero's journey. which is this is what is the hero's journey. Like, this is a masterclass in telling that story, in the trope, in the actual science of literature that people use to tell the tales that we see in a Superman, in a Spider-Man, in a Justice League. You know, these are that setup. So I would 100% say that I think it was fantastic in that. It's long, so it is a 3-hour film. 2 hours, I think 52 minutes was the runtime. I would suggest, if you go see it, do not see it RPX or IMAX, because, like I said, the Cyclops scream was, we didn't see it in RPX, but it was so loud it rang our ear. But like, my wife and I actually had to put our hands on our ears, because it's like, imagine somebody screaming in a cave at a cave wall the size of a house. Like, it echoed and it just like reverberated in our eardrums, and it bothered us a little bit. Or like, it bothered our ears for like a minute or so. Other than that, I will say that this movie is going to be nominated for an Oscar. It's going to get, it's definitely going to get Matt Damon's going to get it for Best Actor. He is fantastic in this movie. I will 100% say anybody that loves to see, I think they did a film like this before, where there was a movie of like a Greek hero. I think it was, I want to say Ray Fiennes was the actor. And he kind of goes like, they tried to turn the hero into like the revenge killer, like John Wick. I think Odysseus going on the killing spree that he does was fantastic. I think you need to watch that and see that for yourself. Tom Holland does a great job of being young and impetuous, but having to be restrained and angry, because there's a line Robert Pattinson says to him. He says, "How could you mourn or long for a father you've never had?" And I thought that was really powerful, because it's like, you long for somebody that's been gone and dead, but you long for him and he's never been in your life. Because Odysseus left when his son was still a baby. So Telemachus grows up and becomes Tom Holland. So you're going through literally the growth of the child becoming the man. And, there's and Anne Hathaway is going to get another Oscar nomination for Best Actress, because I think she does fantastic for her role of the queen that's sitting on the throne for 20 years, but everybody's trying to dethrone her or marry her off. And it was a great understanding of dynamics of women in society. I mean, it was powerful. Like I said, there are lots of great angles, and I would love to see this on 4K when they release this, to see what are the elements of story that we didn't see make it into the final cut. I think Agamemnon, the guy who played him, was great, because he only talked at the end of at the part when they're in hell, or in the underworld, I should say. I think that was fantastic. At the end of the day, I gave this movie a 9.99 out of 10. I think it's, Leguizamo. I mean, Dave and I have covered a bunch of his films on here in the past, and I could tell you now, if you love him, he shines. He does such an amazing job.
Whether he's doing stand-up, whether he's on Broadway, whether he is in a film, he always shines.
But here,
Super Mario Brothers might be the exception, but
well, no, the Pest. I would say the Pest would be the exception. But when you see this film and you see him and this undying obedience to a master not God, it's a lot of these people that there's the common theme is Zeus always believed that you treated guests with kindness, because you don't know if they're a god in disguise. And that's kind of the overarching theme of the entire movie, that everybody in Greece will welcome you into their home, no matter where you're from, because they would spout, Zeus's words, Zeus's command, And it was kind of like something, if you pay attention to it, you see it, it really does help kind of weave that story together with the other different story elements. I think, again, I waited 2.5 years for this movie to come out, and it was fantastic. Like, need to see it, need to watch it. And, that's my spiel on this. I think if Dave's going to sit and watch it, when you guys...
Oh, we lost Dre. Oh, there he is. He's back again.
I have no idea what that... This is the one thing
Are you on a VPN? Be honest.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm honest. I'm not.
So go ahead. Go over the last thought you were beginning to say.
All right. You
said your spiel.
I think that this film is one of those films that for you and Roxanne, when you guys go see it, I think if you do not mind sitting through a lot of if you can piece the story elements together and can deal with the consistent flashbacks, the flashbacks are very necessary as a plot device to push the narrative forward.
Well, we lost Trey again. Let's see if he pops back in, guys.
I swear, I'm not on a VPN, Dave. This is why I hate Talk Studio. Dave knows I hate this thing. I hate Talk Studio. I like StreamYard. It works. StreamYard works. But and it's not. That's why it's off. I had to triple check it. It is off. In any event, go see this. Go see this film. You will like it. I will. It's gonna get Oscars, hands down.
And we're not talking the baloney.
Oh, it's baloney what's going on, but with me. But other than that, yeah, it's fine.
But guys, also, if you didn't notice, Dre loves his physical media.
Big time.
And we do have the hashtag physical media. So if you're a fan of physical media, we want you to drop that in the comment section below or in the chat. Hashtag physical media if you are someone who still chooses to get the DVDs, the Blu-rays, or the Steelbooks. If you're someone who still embraces physical media so you can watch it whenever you get the urge, regardless of your internet, go ahead and do it.
Embrace physical media.
And Ultra says you were briefly taken down by the alien machine from War Machine.
Not a bad film. Just we'll eventually cover that later this year.
I have not seen that one.
It's a good popcorn movie for Netflix.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it to you that way.
You can put it to that way. But guys, like Dre said, I mean, come on, take a look at this. This is Christopher Nolan. John Leguizamo is killer and everything. We get Tom Holland and we get Mrs. Holland, Zendaya, John Barenthal, and Elliot Page. How is Elliot Page in this?
So Elliot Page did a fantastic job for me, and I say the word fantastic because there's no other word to describe. Because everybody's like, "Oh, Elliot Page, he's Achilles." No, he's not. He is not Achilles. I'm gonna set the record straight. He was not Achilles.
Because I'll be honest, the last thing I saw Elliot Page in was the Umbrella Academy on Netflix.
Definitely a step away from that. Like, serious acting role. Very, very... I'm going to put it this way. He had a chance to shine when they went to the underworld. I'm going to leave it at that.
And did
That's
he?
where... And he did.
Okay.
1,000% he did.
That's what I want to know, because
there's a dialogue that he has with Odysseus.
Because Elliot Page in their career, they're known for the sarcastic kind of roles that they've done in the past. So I mean, that's where I'm kind of like wondering, like, does Elliot shine in this kind of a story, in this kind of a journey? So that's what I needed to know. So thank you.
No, like I said, towards the end of the film, there is going to be a monologue that Matt Damon and Elliot Page they have, and I think I think that dialogue is on the level of such a great conversation of, like, it's not like it almost brought back the Morgan dialogue from Walking Dead. So to put it in perspective for those that really, I'm going to give about a throwback. If you guys remember in Walking Dead,
I'm feeling it right now because Morgan was one of my favorite
He's like,
characters
"You
from
left
Walking
me!"
Dead and Fear the Walking Dead.
when he's like, "You left me,"
Yeah.
like it's like there's a moment where it's like, "I followed you into war," and it's just, it's such a moment. In this movie, I'm going to put it this way: we will come back to this film before Oscars next year. I'm thinking around December we will come back to this.
I will see it before then.
And then Dave and I will
hope.
and we will go into a deeper dive into this because it does deserve
a deeper dive. So we're going to move on to our third and final film of the evening. Are you ready?
Wait. I promised we were going to do this when we started. Folks, I'm going to put it on here. Give me 1 second to pull this up because, all right. And this is, I'm going to give you the courtesy of a 15-second timer that will give you a chance to get out of this stream. At the point, if you are watching on the replay, you have 15 seconds before we spoil Spider-Man for you.
That's your alert, guys. If you have not seen this movie, this is your spoiler warning. Okay, there you go.
All right, we have done our courtesy.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
The gloves are off.
Now, do you know why the gloves are off? And that's because it's a brand new day, guys.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's a brand new day. Sorry, it had me. I had to go to my Big E impression. Oh, shout out to those who have not watched Kofi Kingston and Austin Creed's video on them exiting WWE. And if for those of you that are diehard wrestling fans, if you have not watched that, it is the perfectly animated 3-minute video social media has ever had. And it is sad, but it is nice. I'm going to leave it at that. We may review that too one of these days.
So, guys, Spider-Man Brand New Day came out this week. Dre saw it this afternoon. I went early this morning at 9:15 a.m. Me and the missus went, and yes, I did get a full bucket of popcorn. Like any moviegoer, you got to get the popcorn bucket. Dre got his. Is that a Regal or?
This is the Regal, so my wife has stolen the cup from me, but it's more of a deal.
Well, she didn't steal it because, I mean, what's yours is hers and what's hers is hers, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
So she got the cup, and then I got to keep the bucket. She wanted the bucket. I said, no, I like these buckets. They're metal.
For Dre's bucket list.
My bucket collection.
No pun intended.
I have what? I have 4, and then I will be getting the Doomsday, whatever the Doomsday one is.
It's just gonna be Doom's like helmet.
No,
or something.
I'm not buying. If they do a helmet one, like I'm not doing any stupid shit.
Because
I will get
AMC did a Spider-Man mask, like the full. That was like his full head as the bucket.
Oh.
But for like $50, I'm like, no, I can 3D print something.
Wait.
If I want to.
See, yo, there's my boy. Shout out my boy Tats right there. Tats, you just saw it too. That's what I like hearing, and it was amazing.
Hell yeah.
Now, and this is the Tats and Toys that Dre had mentioned earlier that their new podcast starts tomorrow. You said at 9 p.m. Eastern?
Yep, 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's called Cultura Pop, where representation matters.
Now, let me just pull, bear with me. I just want to pull something up here.
I am so psyched for talking about this film because there's Easter eggs.
And by the way, Tats and Toys, drop your link in the chat if you can, because you do have mod status on my channel, so you can drop links. Please throw a link in there so everyone can go ahead and check it out and subscribe to your channel as well as Dre's. We want to make sure everyone gets the love. He said, "Yes, sir," and a full nerdgasm. You got to love it.
So I want to kind of start with this, and I feel like we have to really like. I was sitting thinking about what could I start with Dave, because when we were backstage for like 20 minutes, Dave and I kind of talked all the spoilers that I would have talked out, but we're still going to mention them. So again, you guys were warned. But I think the very beginning is the critics. So I want to say this. I'm going to leave a couple of the Facebook groups I'm in, because there's guys and girls that are purposely trolling because they want to elicit a reaction, right? And I'm just like, the movie's a 10 out of 10. 100, as I told Dave when I got out the theater, 100 out of 10. This is, and I'm going to use what I just said before with the Odyssey. This film is a master class in telling a Spider-Man story.
Go check that link right there in the chat, guys.
And I think Dave can agree with me 100% on that. This was I told Dave, this film for me, on the level of favorite Marvel films that I think are iconic, that I can always watch, Captain America: The Winter Soldier is by far one of my favorite Marvel films that I can literally put on in the background, and I know all the words to it. I know every line to it. I love it, right? No Way Home was that for me until this movie came out. This film has usurped and tied Winter Soldier in that this film is that good. Dave and I even said Homecoming was not a Spider-Man film. It was a Iron Man led film.
Yeah.
Spider-Man in there. Yes, we had Vulture. Yes, we were introduced to Zendaya. Yes, we're introduced to Ned. Yes, we were introduced to Shocker. Yes, we were introduced to the Prowler. Yes, we were introduced to his character as Spider-Man, but was not a Spider-Man film. It was still the Avengers were the main people.
Yeah.
And then it was Spider-Man. It wasn't till Far From Home, No Way Home, and now this film where I feel like he got his stroke as Spider-Man. That's what this is the most. Yes, this was the most Spider-Man movie ever.
Now, I did tell Dre this. How often do we get a sequel of a superhero that outshines its previous installments? I mean, when?
Rocky? Wait, no, Rocky. Rocky 4 was one of the best ones.
Superhero.
No, but when I think about it,
I'm just saying.
Films. If we say films, Rocky, because Rocky 4 was better than Rocky. Was not as good as Rocky 1, but it's Rocky 4. It was good. Superman 4 we said was the worst. So you are right. There are some that just it's like they kind of what's the old saying? Like they just sell. They just kind of like
I mean, look at the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy. They were going the method of like, okay, whatever number movie this is, we have to have that many villains in it, and it got. Spider-Man 3 got progressively worse.
Who was the third villain in Spider-Man 3?
Okay, because
Sandman.
I mean, you had Sandman,
Green Goblin.
You had Green Goblin, but also you had the symbiote.
When it's the symbiote as its own character. It's really about Toby.
I mean, it took over Toby. The dark side of Toby was kind of a villain if you look at it. At least that's how I kind of viewed it. But I mean, it's an example of the movies getting progressively worse. I mean, it was the third one, but thankfully, Tom is breaking that mold, breaking that Spider-Man curse. I mean, we only got two Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. I mean, this is the one that this is the Spider-Man that's going the distance.
Well, it's because he is the MCU Spider-Man, and I agree with you what you said.
And what was this? Was this number 7 or his 8th appearance?
So, as per my usual research, I was tempted to put this in, and I forgot to. Dave knows that my cheat sheets. It's my first one back, folks. I'm sorry. It's been a minute since I've done my cheat sheets.
Performance issues.
This was the 38th film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just to put it in perspective, so 18 years of Marvel films, and this is the 38th film in the series. Before we get to, that's not including Doomsday or anything else, or television shows. That's just 18th film, or 38th film in the series. And this is, I think, if we look at far as the Spider-Man series, this would be film number
seven, I think.
No,
considering Civil
30?
War and Infinity War and Endgame.
That's character.
I said appearance. I did say appearance.
All right, so no, if you count Spider-Man by itself, solo Spider-Man, you have 3 with Tobey, 2 with Garfield, and 4 with him. 4 with him. So that is 7. If you count the appearances, we've got 11, maybe 12. Right? Folks, if I'm wrong, correct me in the chat. Would there be 12?
Because he appeared in Civil War. He first appeared in Civil War. Then we had him in Infinity War and Endgame. So that's 3 appearances right there.
10.
Then we have the 4 films, the 4 Spider-Man films. So that would be 7 appearances yet that we've seen, not counting the future films.
Thank you. That makes sense. I co-sign that. Yes,
I agree. It's back.
Yeah, you put that back. Dave, man, see, Dave and I were right there with it. We're back, folks. We back. Because that's 100% true. I feel like it is.
I mean, with the cameos, with the Easter eggs, with how the story was,
it's sad.
And there are little sprinkles in it. Now we are discussing this in full detail. He wants to.
well,
right?
Dave and I talked about this backstage. Can we say this, Dave, out loud?
Yes.
So Born Again would be your short film, because obviously you see in the end of Daredevil Born Again, we also know that Frank does get kidnapped, and we know what happens to him. He's locked up, and obviously we don't want to count One Last Kill because that was a horrible cinematic.
Hey, it could be Punisher One Long Day.
Yeah, one bad movie. Dolph Lundgren, anybody?
Yeah. Louis Gossett Jr. Rest in peace.
But I think we do need something like if they do that, like if Feige can actually get us like a
one shot Peter and Frank.
TV,
come on,
Disney Plus thing of like a 45-50 minute like how that happened. Because again, if you weren't in the know, weirdly enough, Sony could not. They didn't want to mention Daredevil. I think there is something contractual.
Because of Kingpin. Maybe?
I think it's either Kingpin or I forget the actual reasoning as to why they're. I know there's something contractual. I don't know if it's Netflix and Disney and Sony, because Sony and Disney have their agreement. Netflix and Disney have their agreement, but I don't think that there's ever been like the 3 of them sitting at the table saying, "Hey, we can mention these IPs."
Because I mean, we had Matt Murdock in No Way Home, so I mean that's kind of like just a sprinkle.
Yeah, and he never talked about how he got his superpowers. We just saw Charlie Cox. Yeah. Now,
a really good lawyer.
Yeah, I love that. He's a really good lawyer. I love that. And this, Dave and I said it. Frank and Peter's relationship in this film is the greatest big brother little brother relationship I've ever seen.
I mean, this was like, you know what this is almost on the level of, and don't shoot me for this. This is a pure thought that just generated and manifested right now. It's like Rhodey and Tony.
No, I think that's a different relationship because they were peers.
No, they had the. I'm referring to like the banter they had. I mean, they could easily the banter there. It was definitely there. The banter was definitely there. I mean, and for those who have not seen it or who are going to see it, or maybe you have seen it, this is the most lighthearted that we've seen Frank Castle portrayed in any media anywhere.
Dave, did I just see you cry? Did I just see
Shut
you
up,
cry?
shut up, Brad. I mean, they are going at each other, like they are like fighting each other. I mean, there's a scene, the scene when Peter like webs his, web and yanks his little grenade launcher. Then Frank pulls out another one. He
Oh,
webs that
Marion.
one. He
So
webs Frank's face. I mean, these like he's they're going like they're fighting each other in several scenes, but it's it's that sibling rivalry, like an uncle and a nephew or a brother and older brother vibe, and it was seamless. And the thing is, I think part of that is the chemistry that these two have in real life, because they
and
are
it's
friends in real life.
and it's definitely something you see in the Odyssey, and I didn't cover that because I think Dave will even see it way more in there when Menelaus goes on this whole speech about Odysseus. He's like, "Let me tell you the story of Odysseus. Some say he's dead, some say he's in jail," and he starts regaling this entire
Can I get a hell yeah?
like court of like about his father Telemachus, which is Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And you see that in Punisher and Peter. But I will say one thing funny, because I do like people to know that when I see these films, without people that are like diehard fans, like my wife is not, she likes seeing them, but she's not a fan and did not know who the Punisher was. She busted out laughing when you had like that kind of the masked Jim Carrey moment where he's like, "Not like that, Frank." And he shoots the grenade launcher and then just pulls out another one. And I was like, typical Punisher. Like the dude probably has like 6
Well,
of them.
I mean, he's a former Marine, so he knows to be, you got to have backups for when things go sideways. And he was probably anticipating Spidey doing that to him. But I mean, to me, this was a different Punisher, maybe one that's, I don't want to say healed, but he's definitely he's the man on a mission, but he's also learning and realizing that if you're on a mission, you can't be by yourself. And he has that little speech, that little line with dialogue where he says that, listen, being by yourself is not a choice, it's a sentence. And he tells Peter this, and Peter comes to that realization, as he's speaking with Jean Grey, obviously.
Spoiler, it's the X-Men. Just let's put that out there. It's the X-Men.
Well, she's not an X-Men yet.
Well, okay. We have enough groundwork that the X-Men are here.
But I'm also, this was, and also, Frank and Peter, they go full circle where like they're butting heads. They joke, they butt heads, they're like family. And then like with all families, there are fights and sometimes accidents happen and then you forgive afterwards. We get that in this. I think Bernthal friggin' killed it as Punisher. He killed it. I mean, he's always been killing it, but we got to see Punisher kind of being, lighthearted with Peter. And I think that's something that the fact that you have the loner telling another loner, listen, this isn't the life you want. I'm living in hell right now. You deserve better. You deserve better than this. You can be better than this. I mean, just like everyone said, you have the potential. And I think Peter needed to be reminded that, he has that potential. But you know what I thought was funny, Dre? When Peter's telling telling Frank, well, I got to get out of here. I need to get my hands on this, and this, and this. And he's like, how do you know I don't have that?
I got that shit right here. Yeah.
And why would you have that? And then Zendaya, MJ chimes up like, making bombs. Even she knows.
There's that. I think there was, so again, analyzing this from a couple of different lenses. If you look at it, that the relationship was very interesting because, much like Dave said, if you read the comic books and if you guys have read the old school Punisher War Journal stuff, even old school Punisher, he never really worked well with other superheroes. It's like when Captain America was killed in the comics, we had that whole moment where he actually idolized Cap secretly. Like, even though outwardly he would be against, you know, a lot of the patriotism and the things that the Avengers stood for, low in his soul, he was like, I'm always a big fan of Captain America. And I feel like there were moments that, if you read the newer Punisher run, that was alongside Chip Zdarsky's Daredevil, I would say circa 2022, 2021, there was a lot of elements of Daredevil's, or not Daredevil, sorry, Spider-Man and Punisher's relationship, feeling the way that they felt. Yo, Dave, you got the thing on the screen. I can't see the... Okay. So I think it was something that, if you guys are liking that relationship of that big brother, it's definitely there. I'm
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. One of the big things I enjoyed about this was, much like Dave said, there is that loose, you know, understanding that being alone, because they kind of do go into this whole thing with the spider, like being, you know, when it's solitary, how they're trying to say spiders are social, which I thought was an interesting thing, because I never thought of arachnids. I mean, there might be colonies of arachnids, but I never knew that about the actual creature, the actual spider being a solitary creature. And they were explaining how even animals can experience changes because of their non-social natures. And that was very interwoven into the relationships of
Did you catch the narrator, though?
Yeah, I did. I'm not going to... I loved it. I was like...
I was like,
yay! I was like, Goliath, they brought you in. Happy day. So, but when there's, like Dave said, that moment with the truck is funny. I think my favorite Punisher Spider-Man moment is, so you don't want to fight the Hulk. That's what you're trying to do. He's like, listen, you go deal with the bigger threat. I'll go handle the other one and neutralize it. So you're just trying to get out of fighting the Hulk. Yeah. That, I think it's like their little team up. I think that even I made a comment to Dave backstage about how I felt Holland was doing a heavier Brooklyn accent, but I don't know if it's because he's gotten older and he's trying to carry a different cadence to how he speaks or how he carries himself. Because he even makes the comment like, I'm not in high school anymore. And
I thought that was good, and I thought that was kind of like almost an homage to
Toby.
Remember Toby stretching when there's when him and Andrew are stretching in No Way Home.
Well, he mentions. Remember, he says, "Oh yeah, that was in Peter too." He does mention the other. So
yes, for
you multiverse fans keeping track, he does mention his other counterparts.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm gonna put that out there in the universe. You know, that he does mention Peter too. Now, obviously, the metamorphosis, we are not going to get the full man spider like we got in the animated series.
Because with in the trailers we get the dark eyes, and we get him like having issues like with his powers. I'm like, okay, is this where it's going? It wasn't. I thought we were getting the animated series Neogenic Nightmare arc, but we didn't. Or who knows? There's room for that down the line.
I don't think so. I think they kind of fixed that with the end of the film.
Yeah.
Where obviously when he is fighting and getting beat up,
he has like, that existential crisis kind of where, like, just like Toby did, he had to have that moment of clarity where he had to make that decision. Are you Peter Parker? Are you Spider-Man? I'm both.
Hey, here's an interesting question to the true Spider-Man fans.
And then he just unlocked his powers. To me, it felt like his Spidey sense kicked up, his strength kicked up. It's like he finally was perfectly balanced.
Well, let me ask you this. As a true Spider-Man fan, that I think I know I am, and I would say you are as well, would you say this could potentially lead to, following the multiverse of the Spider-Verse concept, do you think this was Peter's canon event? a new canon event for him going forward. Because if you think about it, he would have, if he didn't, you heard what Jean Grey said. She said that you will succumb to the monster inside of you, right? Why don't you just succumb to it? Because that would mean that he'd give in to his mutation, and that would change him. But then he has that existential debate in his head with her.
I think this is a stepping stone to his canon event. I'm going to say that.
Because we lost Aunt May, which was the canon event.
Yeah.
We had to lose Aunt May.
Yes.
Because we didn't have Uncle Ben. So we had our canon event in No Way Home. Yes. This one really kind of made me feel that we had that like I viewed it as this stepping stone for him to be like, well, when he said I both and he catches the sword and then when like you said,
using the webbing to just shatter a friggin' the hand sword, I'm like, I've never seen that.
First off, folks, we've always, anybody that reads comic books and is a Spider-Man fan casually doesn't realize this. He holds himself back.
Oh, yes.
Because there was one time in a miniseries of comics where Peter Parker wore the black costume Spider-Man suit, the black symbiote suit, but it wasn't a symbiote. It was just a black costume, and went out and fought at full strength. And when he doesn't hold back, proof was in the pudding. You saw him shatter freaking these, whatever the metal was on those rods. You saw him couldn't get through the door with his already enhanced strength. And then when he finally accepted himself, blew through the door and slid. Yeah. To me, that was not only like in Kamen Rider and in Tokusatsu, shout out to my brother right here, my other brother over there on screen, that we all know that's when your powers are stepping up. That's when you've unlocked your new ability. I am now clamoring to see what are we going to see next in his spider powers.
I mean, it's akin also to, don't hate me for this, it's akin to Superman. Superman holds back his power, holds back his strength. 90%, 95% of the time, he's holding back most of his strength. And, Peter is only, I mean, if you only knew, like, if you didn't know what your full potential, you didn't know the in and outs of you. I mean, I loved it when he fully accepts himself, he's now got his organic webs, right? And there's weapons that Damage Control has that nullifies his mechanical webbing. Once he switches over to his biological webbing, once he accepts himself, it goes right through those weapon beams like it was nothing. Which tells you
my house.
I mean, it was like, I am not your bitch. You're my bitch. It was Peter, just like he fully accepted who and what he was. He was accepting with his great power and his great responsibility. Now it was him that just dialing in. I loved like when, as soon as he accepts it, those ninja stars come by and he does like the
Matrix, or actually the Flash. Like we hate the Flash movie. We on this channel we do hate the Flash movie, but it was like
or Superman from Justice League. When the axe, he's like,
no, let's wait. Let's stay within let's stay within Marvel. It's okay. when we saw Pietro
Quicksilver
like this, Quicksilver, like, oh, ping, ping, like. But I will say that I think Tats said it best. Dave and I agreed. I knew that dude was a problem. And I had thought, because of what his character's name is, I thought he was a mutant himself that was hiding in the DDoC, the Department of Damage Control, because there was rumors, and this is before I saw the movie today. I didn't know anything before I went in. There was a guy that had infiltrated human society and was like trying to get people to work against mutants that had a similar power set like what Jean was doing. And that's what I thought he was doing. And I loved Peter doing that, like the typical news reporter, the detective brain, like playing with Legos with his friends, and he's like, wait a second, you said what? Oh, it was like I woke up and I'm on the floor. He lied to me. And the realization of like, oh, it's like that when the guy pulled the gun on him.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, it's like that. Let me stretch for a second. I'm not like in high school anymore. You guys stretch?
I mean,
then Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
I mean, we had Peter at his worst and his best in this film, and the writing, I think, was top. It was top level for me.
Zendaya's speech when he came back was everybody in the theater. Okay, so there were 4 moments in the theater that people audibly gasped, and
the boyfriend.
The boyfriend was not. No, nobody gasped with the boyfriend.
In my theater, they were like, people were just like, there were people sitting next to us. They were like losing their minds.
No, the biggest gasp was Yelena it's Yelena half naked, naked in the bathtub. They gasped there. They gasped when he got shot. When Peter got shot.
Yeah.
They gasped when she said, "What did you mean for me to find this?" And the letter, and then they also audibly gasped when she remembered after he kissed her, and it was really Jean Grey in his head. Yeah. I felt that was that hurt my heart as a man. Well, I was like, "Damn, dude!"
I'm sitting there next to my wife in the theater, and as like Zendaya, MJ is like embracing him, I'm shaking my head. She's like, "What are you shaking your head for?" I'm like, "It's a fake. It's a fake." And then she reveals that she's not MJ. I'm like, that's just because like I read comics as a kid. Peter Parker's always been, I love Batman, I love DC, but I always gravitated towards Spider-Man. Dre knows this.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get invested in a character that you've read almost all your life, and that you always like, if you had to pick a Marvel character to be, I'd be Peter. That's just me. So I really felt bad for him. That's a real villain move to do, to make someone think that, the hero has the reward, but pulls it away.
Great plot twist, though.
Oh yeah, great.
I think that was writing from a writing perspective. That was a huge plot twist to have the villain actually be the hero, and the hero actually be the villain. Yeah. Because we think the DDoC is actually like, oh, they're on the up and up. But I agree. I know from me, any major government contracting company, especially if we all remember Homecoming, Far From Home,
yep.
No Way Home, and in all the other, what was it? The DDoC was also in Ant-Man, and they were loosely mentioned in Ant-Man when he gets to get his suit back from Avengers Facility. They mentioned the DDoC. We know they're not a good agency because Tony, they took over Tony's stuff. They're contracted under probably now our girl that leads the Thunderbolts, not Yelena. Why am I escaping her name?
Victoria.
They got her because she's probably running that, and it would make sense because they loosely mention them in Thunderbolts. So, if you start piecing the stuff together, no pun intended for Spider-Man, if there's a web you can really weave very well to see the story kind of connect. I think the introduction of Jean Grey's sister, which I could care less about personally. I felt like I told Dave, I said, if this was a way to introduce Cerebro, because we saw that system come up and they make that comment about, your sister gave a great sacrifice, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, they're using something to trigger and enhance her mutant abilities or try to measure her mutant abilities. Wasn't that Cerebro, which is tied to the Shi'ar Empire? And when we were backstage, we had talked about, the swords in outer space. We know there's other alien species that have come to Earth. Maybe there was some sort of Shi'ar technology. It is a 4-year time skip between So we all know, if for anybody that doesn't know this, it's 2028 in the Spider-Man universe. So we are technically 2 years ahead of the events of Endgame, which is weird because that would mean this happens prior to Endgame, which doesn't make sense because Thunderbolts already has happened. So because Thunderbolts didn't happen at the same time. That's why I'm like trying to figure out. And I think we will do a deep dive on trying to figure out the timelines.
This would have to be several years after. I mean, Endgame is when Tony died. So
Which is 2024.
this. So I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, well, we might have to wait until Doomsday to find out what the actual dates.
You know what? September 27th is when we get Endgame Encore, which is going to have the new 7 minutes of footage and then a transition at the end of the film into Doomsday. I will be going to see that. And bro, I said the same thing to my wife. Like, what the fuck is? See, bro, I'm telling you, my brain was if the X-Men, we have now ever since Miss Marvel's Disney Plus show. A shout out to anybody that has not watched that show or has watched it, because I'm in that selected few that actually loved it and really would love to see a season 3. She's a mutant. We know that in the Marvels movie, she's a mutant. They come out and say it. So in the comics, she's a mutant, even though they had said she's a Terrigen Mist Inhuman, which is
Kamala was also very strong in the Marvel Zombies.
Yes, she was.
She was a very strong character there too.
And in my brain, I'm like, well, if the mutants have, we now know the X-Men universe is a thing. It's another universe, and we know we're going to be seeing it, which would be interesting because why is she going to Westchester? And for anybody that lived in New York, I was like, I had that music playing in my head when I see her on the bus. And anybody else that missed the Easter egg, obviously,
yeah, but
the girl with the.
Did you also notice the color she was wearing through most of the episode or most of the movie? She's wearing yellow.
No, she had the green and yellow, which is a shout out to her original X Factor colors. So,
Phoenix.
yes. Well, there's a lot of weird loose connections. Like we saw Rogue, the girl on the bus that Peter gets dragged as they drag him, and it's the girl sitting there, looks like Rogue. It would make sense. Another girl lost in the city, hiding her powers. And the DDOC is looking at them because it's interesting. Because didn't Wonder Man, shout out to Wonder Man, and I definitely will be doing
Kevin Feige. I'm coming for you. I'm hunting you down, Kevin Feige. You're gonna have words.
Listen, the Cultura Pop and the Outer Dimensions, both podcasts are going to be doing something to talk about you. Because I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you, and I feel like I need 2 different shows to talk about it because I'm mad.
Kevin Feige might not be a real person. It might be like a AI thing, like in She-Hulk.
Well, now they retconned her because now we're gonna have a different actress for her, but that's a whole different story. What you guys came here for? Not enough Scorpion. I wish we had more of him. I think he was cool.
Tombstone.
I told you I wanted more Tombstone. I feel like he was amazing. No, the detective was not tied to Miles Morales. Get that out of your minds, folks. There was yes, I know that this is the second time in a Spider-Man movie. A little half Spanish.
I did like that. I did like that relationship though. That Peter kind of has a partner in a way.
Well, that was also related to the video games, which is a shout out to the video games because you do befriend the detective in Spider-Man 2 that you actually, while you're solving the crimes. So against Kraven the Hunter. So shout out to like Dave said, one of the other Easter eggs when we started talking about this backstage was the Amazing Fantasy cover. For anybody that's a diehard fan, Spider-Man fan, it is one of the, I think, as the collectors would call it, a key book to own, which was the Amazing Fantasy, the web where he's holding the guy at his side. And they do that in all the movies. Tom Holland says that he does it on purpose for us diehards. There was also the Spider-Man game combat mechanics that Dave and I talked about.
Visually stunning. visually done. It did not look CG. It didn't look CGI. It made it look just so, because they did a lot of practical effects with the explosions and everything. Anyone that's seen any kind of behind the scenes stuff, I mean, they've done a perfect blending of it, and it's the best Spider-Man movie. There's I don't know how else we can word it. I mean, it is the best Spider-Man movie, whether it's Frank, whether it's MJ, and of course, later on with Ned. I mean, there's so much there that just like how can they outdo this one? That's a scary question right now.
Well, we also are leaving out a big element that a lot of people liked in this movie, or were surprised in this movie to get, and I think that David, I didn't even talk about this, but I think I actually have an issue with this movie, and it would maybe knock it a point. I would take a point away from this film for it. I know. Go figure, me, the diehard Spider-Man fan, I would take a point away from this. The way they treated the Hulk.
Yes. Okay. I will co-sign that 1,000%. The sheer fact that now go ahead and explain your view on it.
All right. So I loved Ruffalo's character. I love Mark Ruffalo. Let me just put that out there. I think he's a great guy. I know he's an activist, and I know he's very outspoken about a lot of things against the government, and I love him for that. Shout out to him. In this film, he's very toned down from Intelligent Hulk, which I thought was a different spin on him, which I don't know if that was because they're trying to phase him out or to do something. I don't know what that was, but it was the transformation of the Hulk after he loses the inhibitor, and where he was like, I didn't know you can get that big. That to me was, again, once showing and kind of foreshadowing to interlace the story of like, you don't really know your powers when your mind is closed and you don't pay attention. But it was what they did to him at the end of the film when Bruce lets go, or it's not Bruce, but when he was Hulk and he's like, Bruce, I'm your friend, it's Peter. And then he lets go and he falls and he transforms back to Bruce. And he's and they're putting him into the EMS truck and the ambulance. And he's like, did I hurt anybody? And then if you watch listen to the newscast,
he gets admitted
to a psychiatric hospital. I have so many problems with that, because the Hulk is a story of a man fighting the inner monster in himself. We've known that since the Lou Ferrigno days. Why did we have to do that to him?
No,
knowing, and they hurt it. I'm sorry, they hurt me with this, because they say brilliant scientist. What happened to him? Not, oh my God, Banner had a moment as the Hulk and the Hulk took over, that his inhibitor was damaged. It's almost like the DDoC or somebody in the thing in the MCU had an issue with Ruffalo, which they've said for years, and they just wrote him out of the movie series because now he's going to be in a mental hospital. So I don't like that.
I didn't like that, but also part of me is also having different thoughts in my head. Is this a story? Is this like a line? Like, is he good? Because, well, hear me out. Remember Eric Seldrick from Thor?
Eric Selvig, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because remember, he had his own bout at a psychiatric facility.
He wasn't. He's not a mainstay. Okay, wait. Before
that was after Avengers.
Okay.
When he had the Loki thing.
Pause. Can we pause for 2 seconds, dude? You're comparing a tertiary character that's not a mainstay Avenger that we have
Yes, and because I'm going on my thoughts though.
I understand what your thought process is, but I'm trying to understand it. How are you taking this non-important character and I can't compare them? Like that's oranges and pears. Like I need to get.
Okay, well.
I want to listen
Respectfully,
to you. I want to listen.
that's what you need. This is what this is my thought.
But I need you to connect it. That's why I'm asking you to connect it. That's why I'm listening.
Well, I'm sorry if you're not getting the connection. Okay. You in all honesty, Dre has a deeper knowledge base when it comes to comics than I do. Okay. But this is my thought. Are they trying to do something where maybe it is a cover story, like, okay, maybe he's really being taken in by Sword or by some other organization? Is it Damage Control trying to spin PR? That's a very, very strong likelihood. Did I like the fact that they were saying that he's being admitted to a psychiatric hospital? No. It feels like it's rushed. It feels like it was thrown around. But I'm comparing to Eric when, after the Loki incident, he was kind of like not there, because remember the Thor 2, news showed a clip of him being naked, trying to set up sensors at Stonehenge. I mean,
I still can't unsee that image.
I'm just throwing it out there that is it something psychological? Yeah, but I mean, there's that. Could it be something like that? I mean, yes, we know Marvel's not because of Ruffalo's loose lips and sometimes his political views, that they're not the greatest fans of him at times. Do I think that they're going to shelve the character completely? I don't think so.
Well, it got me thinking. Now that you've explained your theory, and I think you didn't have to involve Eric Selvig. If you just said that you think that there's another storyline underlying, that there could be something, the only thing in the comics loosely that I could tie that could be a potential link may be Weapon X, because there was a limited run comic series called Weapon H, where the Weapon X program took DNA of the Hulk, found a way to recreate the gamma explosion, and then attached it to this guy that was basically like it was the Hulk gray and had like Wolverine bone claws and like tendrils like Omega Red. Okay. And it was a really weird spin, but it was. Now, mind you, do I think Feige would go the route of Deadpool in Wolverine origin, X-Men Wolverine Origins? I hope not. But the reason why I say that is it's not just a comic book base of knowledge. I feel like it's more I think Feige and Ruffalo have had a lot of. Ruffalo's come out and said a lot of things against the government. And we know Disney is very much in the pocket of the government. So that would put Marvel in the government's pocket in a lot of ways. And I feel like that might lead to why Ruffalo's character got the piss poor end of the stick. Because if you think about it, he didn't have any dialogue. We didn't have any Jean Grey didn't talk to him. We never got to see that scene. That might be on the cutting room floor. I would love to have had Ruffalo had dialogue like he had with Peter.
The extended cut, who knows?
Exactly. But, I mean, was there stuff that, because when he's sitting there fighting, I can't control him. She broke me. Is this, like you said, is this an attempt at doing the Lou Ferrigno style Hulk? Because Ferrigno's character, as the Hulk, what was the name of the actor? Because you know it way better than I do.
Well, he played David Bruce Banner. It was I can't
remember his name.
But Courtship of Eddie's father. Bill Bixby is his name.
Right, Bill Bixby. So this could be a spin on Bill Bixby's version of him, which was sort of like the Immortal Hulk run in the comic books now, where it's sort of like this Hulk kind of going on the way that like Bill Bixby was. He'd sit on the road and like da-na-na, da-na-na, and then go from town to town.
I mean,
Like,
but
is that what we're
also,
gonna see? Who
also
knows?
Bruce might have like when they were bringing him into the ambulance, maybe he requested to go to a mental facility because he felt that he was broke.
Well, you heard what he said though. It's like he
Yeah.
kept saying like, "Did I hurt anybody?" It was almost he kept repeating himself, which
Yeah.
I mean, again, great get great at the acting, but it bothers me because I feel like this was more of a punishment.
A disservice to the character.
And this isn't the first time they've dissed Hulk like that. They did it to him in Endgame, where they had him in a freaking sling and he couldn't be swinging. You know, like they've done a lot of damage to the Hulk, where I feel like Ed Norton did a better job, kind of like giving that like broken man, but still extremely sound of mind. You know. And I feel like Eric Bana didn't do that at all well with Ang Lee. And I feel like Ruffalo has done it well. Ruffalo has shown us that, you know, he's input safety protocols,
Safeguards,
and safeguards to not be Hulk.
I mean, like him coming up with that device,
which looked awesome, like an Omnitrix. I hate you for, by the way, for showing me that Omnitrix the other day. But
I found out all that stuff is AI.
Oh,
so God, it's not real.
You know, if it was,
I know.
Story for another day, folks. But that device looked awesome. And you heard what he said. Oh, there's even safeguards for the safeguards. And if you don't see it on me, run.
Yeah, because I mean, like he probably had to shield it from EMPs, so that like any situation, he was thinking any eventuality. But for him to come up with that, and if you notice, when Jean first took him over and he was hulked out, that was Professor Hulk right there. And then when she lost complete control, then we got full-blown Hulk. And I think that's the first time we've had the full-blown Hulk since Thor Ragnarok, if I'm correct.
No, go back. This is Rage Hulk. This is the Hulk from the Battle
Ultron?
for New York. Battle for New York.
No, Hulk, but I mean, the last time we saw the Hulk in that size.
Was it
size-wise?
Age of Ultron?
I would say Age of Ultron or possibly Thor.
Yeah,
because I mean, he communicated. He wasn't full raged out, but he was that full size, and he was a Hulk for like what, months or years, possibly.
Years because of that. Yeah. Chat. If you guys are still here with us and have watched the film, comment below, and if that is correct. When was the last time Hulk was like not that size? Fully Hulk, but that size? I agree with Dave. I think it was Ragnarok.
I mean, he was conscious, like he would talk to people,
but he wasn't Professor Hulk.
No, he was the full Hulk size, and then he spent time to become Professor Hulk when it came time around for the Infinity War and Endgame, because Infinity War he couldn't even Hulk out. No, so the last time we saw him Hulked out was the
Ragnarok.
Infinity War. He tried to take on Thanos, but then Thanos ejected him and threw him in space because he was
still angry Hulk at that point.
Yeah, he was angry Hulk at that point, and then we didn't get Professor Hulk until Endgame because he spent time to find the balance.
So are you telling me that maybe 10 years? Because that would have been 10 years of history. Remember, 5 years from the snap.
Yeah.
So do you think that when he? I mean, because that could lead to some different. See, and that's the first Avengers movie we saw him.
Yeah.
We're talking so we're talking like the last one. So Dave and I kind of have narrowed it down to either it has to be, I would say Infinity War then was the last time we saw that big Hulk, because that's when Heimdall teleported him to Earth to Strange, and then he
was back to Bruce,
and we never saw him as that again.
Nope.
So that
and that Hulk psyche, the unbalance, because obviously Professor Hulk was like a safeguarded version where Bruce is still conscious, and I mean this is like the first time we've seen the Hulk unlocked after all that time. But the fact that, but also like you said before, Peter got through to him.
Yeah, but see, that's where it loses me.
And I wonder if that Hulk remembers Peter.
But see, that's what I'm saying. When did that Hulk meet Peter? Because that Hulk never met Peter.
No.
See, that's what I'm. So you see where I'm saying that there's some disconnects that just don't make sense.
Yeah.
Like that they're because it's like unless somewhere in that psyche so splintered, which again, Immortal Hulk. If you guys have never read Immortal Hulk, it is fantastic. It is like the best psychological approach to understanding the monster that is Hulk, but the man that is Bruce. Very great storyline, very well written. I will argue that there's no way Monster Hulk would have met him. Now, if you tell me that the spell didn't affect Monster Bruce because he has multiple personalities, I would accept that theory. But then how would the monstrous Hulk, when he would go, Bruce, it's me, Peter, I'm your friend. Like,
trying to reach a part of Bruce's id,
psyche.
like Bruce's id that's somehow inside of him to try and connect to him, and maybe that part of Bruce did remember, because I mean we also saw that Peter was able to reawaken Ned's past memory with the handshake at the end.
Yeah, that's true, but I think that there's more of an intimate connection there because they were like you and me, best friends. Yeah. There's a difference of that connection that you have where I feel like, and this, folks, I mean, there could probably be a whole, and I expect that you'll see YouTubers over the next couple of months till Doomsday, where we'll see people talking about this, because truly, I think that Hulk got the shitty end of the stick in this movie. I think what I was looking forward to and was kind of billed, which I think, Dave, you could agree, we were billed to see a Hulk versus Punisher versus Spider-Man. And then it was supposed to be the three of them team up against the bad guy. That was what all the critics had extrapolated from what they had said they saw in the writing. So somewhere between that original script and what was put in film today, which again, I have no problems with, 9.99 out of 10, I would give this film. I'd give it, why wouldn't I give it 100? Because of this Hulk thing. I think it was shoehorned, much like Lobo, it felt shoehorned into the movie. I feel like if you wanted to have him be like where he visited him at ESU and Banner sees him there and then they have a dialogue together, that would be cool. Kind of how like Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was a focal character in No Way Home. Like we needed Doctor Strange there because it would tie in the multiverse of madness, which is what we got. And it tied into Scarlet Witch. Now, if we're going to go down the rabbit hole of Hulk in this film, I think, we get a solid Avenger, but then we don't really treat him like that. Like even almost like Dave, remember the guy when he tells the guy in the classroom, like, oh, what if Thanos used the magic glove and why didn't he just make food? And he just R3, he's R3, what is it? Hulk smash. It's almost like it was like they were insulting the character that he's dumb. And this is a brilliant scientist. Like I felt like there was even this weird, like, because the banter that he had with Peter was amazing. That nerd banter for the science.
Yes.
Well done.
But also the inhibitor, that was like, oh, could this be like a little wink and nod at the audience to say like, oh, this could be the inhibitor that like Henry Gyrick and the government uses or tries to use against the mutants in the future. So
see, I like
that's where my head was at, because when Bruce brought up like, well, this could be used on any powered individual. It's like in the DC, you had like the metacuffs, the power dampening abilities. So I mean, it opens up a whole can of worms, and that the fact that this was created by Peter would weigh heavy on him also.
I think that if everything kind of stems back to the DDoC showing that they're like the bad guys. Like, I get that. The hand was cool. Big Dave and I were so disappointed we did not get our Daredevil.
The fact that they were just a bunch of young people who needed guidance, who needed
That's
a
right. That guy
goal,
was a jerk, right?
and
Dave?
inspiration.
Was he a jerk?
He was
That
a
dude,
he was a dick.
needed help.
He was a dick. Okay.
Great actor though, solid actor.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, technically speaking, if you play the Sony the PlayStation video game, you can visit Hook and Ladder 8. It's just not the Ghostbusters Firehouse. But would I ever like that? Oh hell yeah, 1,000%.
Oh god, I think that would give Dave a nerdgasm.
1,000%. I mean, I'm not saying I ever thought about a Ghostbuster Spider-Man cosplay or anything. I'm just saying it's it's something out there.
I mean, whoever, why not make a proton pack? You always say you need a reason to make another pack.
Well, I've got the Back to the Future pack I'm polishing up for this week. I'm going to Steel City Con. Woo woo!
But do you see what I'm saying? Like, you could always polish up another. You always said you need another reason. Take your two favorite. Take two.
Trust me, it would be like a mixture of your friendly neighborhood suit and mix it up, like the wires that he has going to his web shooters and stuff. Little proton webbing.
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah. Trust me, the wheels are turning.
So Dave definitely thought about this, guys, just a little bit, but you could tell
just a little bit. And thank you for coming through the chat, Angie.
But I think at the end of the day, they definitely need to. If Hulk is not going to be in if Ben Grimm is going to be our new,
we got to have a Hulk and Ben Grimm. We got to have a brief interaction.
Come on, man! You got to give me my Battle World moment where I see
Hulk smash versus his clobbering time. Come on.
I need to hear. I need to see the slap. Come on, tell me. I need to see the slap, and then it's clobbering time. I need to see that moment. You cannot rob me of a Hulk versus Wolverine. I still need that fight.
I did kind of chuckle when Hulk was whipping Peter around like Loki in Avengers.
I had the same thought. It was like pure human.
But you didn't hear Peter say.
Oh no,
he's stronger. So I'm just saying.
Well, I mean that's a demigod. It is well, no, Loki's a true god. He is a true god. So the Lord of Mischief. But in any event, I mean,
God of stories.
The Lord of Mysteries and Stories. So yeah, love it. But I think at the end of the day, if you that's what he said. I said it out loud. He just Loki'd.
Just Loki'd all over the place. Oh,
facts.
That sounds terrible.
I think
it's horrible.
I think when you look at this film, and much like people said with Falcon and the Captain America: Winter Soldier, that movie, I think it's a fantastic film. It's a great action movie. It's a great film. Were there elements of it that were kind of off because technically that's when Nick Fury left being an Avenger and he makes the Secret Defenders and the Secret Avengers, and they never kind of went into that storyline. I feel like there was a lot of loose ends that they never really covered, and I feel like this kind of is doing the same thing. Like we're getting a lot of branches, but we're not getting a lot of meat on the bone. And I'm fine with that because we know what's coming up. We know we have Doomsday, and Doomsday is going to be, what's going to be Peter's reaction to seeing his mentor come back from the dead.
I mean, that's to me, that's going to be like, Dre, we lost your audio.
You did?
Oh, there you go. You're back again.
Okay. That's weird. It might have been my cable. I apologize.
Okay.
Hold on one second. My wife again was like, "You must be in heaven right now because I kept you." Yeah, my wife. So I was literally sitting on the edge of my seat, and I would go back and I'd sit on the edge of my seat again. So yeah, I definitely was in heaven today.
Well, even though my wife doesn't watch the Marvel Disney shows, I'm like, oh, by the way, that's Punisher. She's like, I know, I see the logo. I'm like, oh, okay. My wife knows things without having to be told sometimes.
Oh, yeah, mine doesn't. I had to walk in and give her a little primer. Speaking of which, I am going to be doing this, and this is for our neurodivergent fans. Comment below. I am currently starting to work on a primer for 2008 to 2026. It's going to be the basically an ADHD guide to catching up on the Marvel Cinematic Universe to get you from Iron Man to Doomsday. So I felt like there has to be a better primer than just sitting, because some people can't sit and watch all the movies. So I'm going to try to work on something. I do have another two neurodivergent people, like friends that I'm working with, that are like, I've asked them to watch the films and to give me kind of their, like, what imagery would work best. Just as a shout out, because it's something Dave and I talked about a while ago. About a week or two ago, I mentioned it to him. So it's something that we are working on. But this was, I will say it again. I think the Rotten Tomato score is completely wrong. I think they go based on what the critics are overanalyzing and thinking. And Metacritic, I think they're all bought and paid for. Dave and I both are lifelong Spider-Man fans. And I think that we gave it the most purest love. I think Archer, if you guys have not checked out Nerd Affiliated, shout out to Archer, because he was in our chat. I literally saw his score, and I love you, Archer, but I was walking right into the damn theater when I saw your video. I didn't want to hear anything you had to say about it until afterwards. So I literally caught that, and I saw the 5 out of 5. And if in Archer, I think, is a sterner critic than Dave and I are, both of us. I would say I'm pretty much a little sterner than Dave, but I think Archer is way stricter than I am, which is a compliment, because I like having the same banter like I have with Dave, where I can disagree with Dave on certain things, and it's not based on my knowledge base. I just love hearing his opinion, because it's based in something. You know, it's based on what he believes, and that's ultimately what Stan Lee said, right? When we go see these films, we go read the comic books, we buy these action figures. Whatever we're doing, we're getting to be the true believers, right? Where, you know, we go into these films to live that fantasy of, I played the video games, I read the comics, I've watched the cartoons, or I've never done any of those things, but I've always liked it because I went to Disney World or Disneyland or overseas. I think at the end of the day, this movie is by far a perfect Spider-Man movie. As in, perfectly contained in what I needed it to be. Perfectly a buddy cop film, if you want to call it a buddy cop film, in a lot of different aspects. It pays a lot of nods to lots of things. It gives us enough breadcrumbs for certain things, including what Dave said, which definitely, you know what? Dave kind of got me thinking maybe it wasn't a bad thing to put Ruffalo in a mental institution. Maybe that is going to lead on something, because he said it broke me. That's a very big thing to say. And that could lead to a lot of cool things. We now have mutants that are mind readers. We know Xavier is going to be showing up soon. There's a lot of things that we can be seeing. And I mean, look forward to it.
Like with Jean, when she did that shockwave that like took out, like froze everybody a kilometer out. That was, for me, that was like, oh, she's because that's what the professor usually does, is freezes people perfectly in place, but they're not necessarily conscious of it. So I mean, that was almost shades of Fox's X-Men, for at least for me, for a quick minute. But I mean, Jean was great. I thought Sadie did a great job. Obviously, she signed up for a multi-picture deal.
You think?
I mean, if you ask me, she was really good in the interviews that she's had to go through.
Mm-hmm.
People asking like, "Oh, are you this? Are you that?" And she's like, "I don't know. You'll have to see. I guess we'll find out in the movie." She's doing pretty good with that on a lot of different interviews. One person is even like, "Oh, do you like do you like my shirt? It's gray. Oh, part of my appearance, I'm wearing jeans today." Like, people are trying to bait her to get her expression.
Did that too. Ryan Reynolds made a lot of jokes about his outfit being tied to jeans, but there was also something that a lot of fans are saying, that one of the people that put a song in the movie, he on the red carpet premiere, for Spider-Man, Brand New Day, that he came out and said, they said, who's your favorite character in the whole film that wasn't Spider-Man? And he said, I like Jean. And that the interviewer's face got pale. And he's like, yeah, I looked forward to Jean. And then everybody was just kind of like, oh shit, he let it out like the bag. And we all know Feige does not like that, and the mouse doesn't like when you do that. So, you know, our next big one obviously is Doomsday. And ironically enough, I told my wife today, Doomsday falls on our anniversary. It comes out on December 18th, which is our anniversary. She says, maybe it's foreshadowing, is what her exact words were. I was like, oh Lord, no. I said, but she gets to go see her favorite actor in Robert Downey. And obviously we get to see the next major movie event, which I think is going to be fantastic. And
no pun intended.
Oh yeah, no pun intended. And overall, I think this was a good summer. I mean, we didn't go into like Minions and Monsters, which I took, you know, and it's a great film if you like that stuff. I know that there's not really much else. There's a couple of horror movies that are coming out over the next couple of weeks. And
I saw Evil Dead Burn, and it was kind of a letdown.
I didn't see it yet, and I want to see it, and I will be eventually planning to try to see it. I used my 2 free tickets that I had earned to go take the girls today, so I will more than likely try to build back up and see Evil Dead before it leaves theaters. But I've checked off pretty much every major film I wanted to see: Supergirl, Minions.
I'll be honest. I saw the trailer for the next Dune movie. Not psyched.
I think it's going up. The fact that it's going up against Doomsday and then Jumanji's the week afterwards, which my wife was cackling. We were all laughing.
I mean, the next Jumanji looks entertaining. It really does.
It's going to be a popcorn movie, which you know what, for Christmas, I'll take my kids and my wife to go see it, and we'll have a good time because I think it's going to be funny. I want to see it. You know, I like The Rock. I love Kevin Hart. I love Jack Black. Redheads love Karen Gillian. It's going to be a
well. The fact in the trailer you see that a mother and a son are taking over the bodies of The Rock and Kevin Hart. I mean, that's just going to be hilarious.
The fact that I love what they said in the trailer, which I saw today, when the guy's like, he's like, look, you have balls, you have muscles, you have a penis. Yeah. I was like, dang, dude, like you got to be that vulgar. Like, not bad way of saying it, but like he put it out there. But at the end of the day,
I mean, we've heard worse in a Kindergarten Cop.
Oh Lord,
girls have, boys have penis.
Girls have,
yeah. You know,
but Brand New Day. At the end of the day,
it was a brand new day.
It was and like we started off this podcast. Yes, it is. It was fantastic, and I will use that word. It was amazing, spectacular.
Very friendly.
Very friendly. So go see it. And hey, if you watched this far, thank you. We're not sorry that we spoiled it because there was no way 2 diehard Spider-Man fans who were dodging social media every day this week since this movie dropped to not watch it.
I will say this. I wish Stan would have lived to see it because I think he would have loved this.
I had a moment. Can I tell you my moment before we close out and end it tonight? I felt like when he left the hospital, that would have been a moment where the people in the crowd, when the
like you would have had Stan, that would have been Stan's cameo right there.
That would have been Stan going like this, like, hey, Spider-Man. And that moment hit me because I felt like that would have been the perfect place for that moment. Kind of like how Tony Stank is Tony Stank, Mr. Stank.
Yep.
You know, that's where my head was on that. But 100%, folks, these 3 films, all good in their own ways. Obviously, the best was saved for last. Forget what the critics say. Go see it yourself. Don't listen to me and Dave because we're biased and we love this stuff. And, you know, I hope you guys
Listen, go see Spider-Man Brand New Day. Subscribe to the Outer Dimensions podcast. And subscribe to Dre the Geek Dad. Or else. We will find you, Kevin Feige. What?
Oh, yeah, Mikey, we're gonna get you. But yeah, I think Dave. We always before we wrap up, we always like to shout out things that we're doing. I already told you guys where you're gonna see me tomorrow night at 9:00. But Dave, do you have anything coming down the pipe?
Well, funny that you say that. I will be going to Steel City Con in Pittsburgh, PA, this coming this next week, next weekend. Me and Mrs. Dimension will be there. I will be in full book Ghostbuster gear, meeting the one and only Adam Savage. So I'm looking forward to that. Going to try and record some of that as possibly as a vlog. I'm thinking of possibly bringing back Tuesday streams permanently, because we got ourselves a little bit of backlog of kits for me to build. Lego kits and also blockies, so I think I might be doing some live build streams, or I might even do those possibly. I don't know, maybe like on a Sunday between 7 and 9. We'll see if maybe a tie-in. I got to figure out what's going to be best for the schedule, but I'm thinking probably I might do it on Tuesday nights because that's always been a Tuesday night live for me. So we'll see what happens.
Nice.
So working on that. Other than that, I am going to be going to. We have a chalk festival downtown Buffalo at Riverworks that I'm going to be trying to do some coverage of. So I'll be doing some recording on that tomorrow. But the thing that everyone needs to do is they need to go ahead and subscribe to Dre the Geek Dad for that pop culture.
For Cultura Pop. For
Cultura Pop.
Yes, I know. Dave's trying, and I love it.
I'm sorry, I'm Caucasian. I'm sorry.
It's okay. He's listening.
Cultura Pop.
Listen.
How's that, people?
See, when you do that, you're gonna make me say
Cultura Pop.
No,
There you go.
okay.
I'll say it very fast. There you go. But I will also be on the lookout for things at Steel City Con. I know there's a few things that Mr. Dre may be looking for.
You've already had my list. I will text you my list.
Yeah. But if there's only one of that item,
if there's only one of that item, please say it's for me, because it would be like I'm like, if it's that one, I understand.
you know what Stone Cold says.
Come here. And
But,
that's the bottom line. Look, say hi.
Hi.
There's the obligatory peanut shot.
All right, well, go ahead. Tell her it's all good.
And Dre, why don't you tell the folks what our next episode will be about?
Okay, so let me actually pull it up on my phone, because I actually was organized with this, folks, a little bit. So I'm going to be shooting for August 16th. That will be our next episode. It'll be Sunday, August 16th at 9 p.m. I know I had to flip it with the 15th. I know I said it the 15th. If it's not good for you, Dave, we'll figure it out.
We'll see what happens. I got to check the schedule.
Yes, but I have here
Hemorrhoids. What?
No, oh Lord, no. Oh, that's not nice. So we're gonna do something that should have gotten a reboot, and it's gonna be something I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. I know Dave and I've talked about it.
If you say Howard the Duck, I'm gonna beat you.
Oh no! It's the title of the episode is called "Cartoons That Need a Reboot," and it will be, just as a hint, Bionic 6, Silverhawks, and SWAT Cats. Those are going to be the three things we'll be talking about. I may throw one more in there. I haven't thought about it yet.
Now, are we going to do 3 on 3, or what are we doing?
Just 3. That should be rebooted, and that's going to be what we'll talk about. And that's going to be.
I have criticisms about those already, but we'll get into that during that episode.
Actually, wait. I did say that this episode was the 22nd, so if you want to leave it on the 22nd, we can. Unless you have to move it. We
will see what I have going on, because the 26th is our anniversary. This is Dimension. So we will see what is going on, because we might be doing something that weekend or the weekend before, but I will find out. And
just keep me in the loop. So we will post on both our socials and everywhere else. Obviously, tomorrow I'll be doing Cultura Pop, and like I said, I'll be dropping some dates there as well tomorrow. But as you'll see, it'll be streamed on both my channel as well as Tats and Toys YouTube channel. Oh man, he's Tats is already hitting us with some of those. We're gonna mention those tiger sharks and silverhawks. I'll sit here all night and keep talking, and I would love to. I miss Dave.
Charlie Hawk. What?
I know. Oh God, the music. There'll be a reason why when we go back, why that episode's gonna happen.
Listen, I have a YouTube playlist I just have playing in the background of like music from like just like different songs from the 80s and 90s and 2000s. Plus, I have a ton of 80s TV shows like Galaxy Rangers and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Jason the Wheeled Riders. I mean,
God. Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot. And then, let's be honest, the Bionic 6 was just Fantastic Four with Bionics. I'm calling it out right now.
Fantastic Four Bionics with two more people.
With adopted kids, okay? It was Different Strokes meets Fantastic Four.
Oh Lord, did he really just go there?
Oh yes,
folks, that's a new one. Dave has found a way to go there and make my brain just say, "You take the good, you take the bad."
That was Facts of Life. That's a different show.
I know.
Same universe because Mrs. Garrett was on both shows. So
that's what my brain was doing. It was merging the two. So no,
multiverse of 80s TV shows, folks. Yes, it's a thing.
We need to bring Allison on and do that episode.
Multiverse of what? TV shows?
Yes, Allison. When you catch this on the replay,
Don Belisario. Don Belisario was behind Magnum PI.
I know.
JAG, NCIS, Quantum Leap. I mean, everything. So
we got it. So y'all missed this. Listen, we missed you. Life happens, and we're doing this like a season of a TV show. I feel like that gives Dave and I a chance to get a little bit of a breather, especially with the holidays coming up. So obviously Halloween is kind of not so big here in the Wyatt Saunders house. We kind of like, we do celebrate it. We go out, but I think it's more Christmas. Like I'd like to have us freed up by the Christmas time. That way Dave and I can be a little bit looser with our schedule. And then we probably pick up at the middle to end of January.
Hey, who you call loose?
Well, you are.
With the right food, sure. Yeah, hey, you got to buy me dinner first.
Milk in my system will make me looser than anything. So
TMI.
Lactose intolerant. But anyway, folks, we are glad to be back. We have definitely missed this, and we missed you guys. And the ones that have kept up with us, you're all the real ones. We appreciate you. And just stay tuned. We got a bunch of fun shit planned for this season. And then, like I said, the next season will be starting in mid to late January 27. So this is season 1 of the new adventures of the Brothers of Deconstruction.
And we will be having some guests coming through the pipeline like we always have in the past, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, most definitely. I've started working on a few. I have to just get there. I have to get them scheduled in. But
we may also want to talk about Masters of the Universe at some point. It's a discussion that talk about things that need to be rebooted, or could be worse. Could be. It was a little cringe.
I'll put it this way. I wouldn't be on that episode. I'd be the one that I'd be quiet in the background. How Dave was quiet through the Odyssey. That would be me because I'm not a
Allison is a big Motu fan.
Mega J.
So we can recruit a few people.
Yeah, I'll reach out. Dave and I'll reach out to a couple of our peoples.
Because I think that's it was something that was rebooted. Was it better than the 87 movie? Sure. But there's it still needs polishing. There's stuff that has been rebooted and needs to be rebooted.
Dave hit it with the 4 times. The 4 time.
5 time.
See, wavelength, man. I've missed my brother. I've missed you guys. We love you. And as always, my friends, Dave,
guys, you know what we say. We say it every single time. The portal. Come on.
Watch your head as you exit the portal.
And like always, guys, we will always catch you on the flip side. Take care, guys.
Peace, guys.
DRE and Dave hit it hard in the dark, spinning tales from the void, never bark. Movie shows, they tear apart. Dimensions clash, they ignite the spark.